What's going on, Aquarius? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the month of January 2024. So in this reading, Aquarius, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the month. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming, and we're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides and so much more for you, Aquarius, regarding the rest of January 2024. But before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading, Aquarius, and as always, I really do appreciate you in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading does happen to resonate with you, Aquarius, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here. But without further ado, I am now going to pull the energy for you, and we'll see what is coming your way for the rest of January 2024, Aquarius. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Aquarius. Wow, this looks... I feel like it's going to be a great month for you. Just have to say, hold on though, hold on. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on here for you, Aquarius. Wow. Definitely a new love situation coming in for many of you, especially if you're single, Aquarius. Even if you're in a relationship here, I do see a rough patch you're going to have to get through, but overall, there's a destined relationship that you're dealing with in love in January 2024. But the first thing that I have to say is that you have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to not be so emotionally detached and to really sink into your heart, even if there's the risk of being hurt. Because true love takes that risk on. You can't really be in love, or you can't really be in a harmonious relationship if you're kind of halfway in, halfway out. Or you could, you know, if there's a mutual agreement, but that's just... Let's go ahead, before we get into the tarot, Aquarius, let's go ahead and start this reading off for you with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe. And these oracle cards contain the energy that you need more of, that Spirit wants you to embody for your own highest good in January. And the first one you have is Taurus. Okay, so Taurus is the sensual. It is the most grounded sign of all. And it deals with possessions, things that you have. It also is ruled by Venus. And so there is a relationship coming in for you, or even if it's not a love relationship, something to do with a close family member, a destined thing, something to do with your destiny relating to another person is happening. And because you need Taurus here, I really would try to deal with it in the physical. You know, there also may be a Taurus that you're dealing with. And if there is a Taurus that you're dealing with in any sort of love situation, then this is your confirmation that you need to be dealing with this person. So you have Taurus, we'll see. We'll make sense of it as we go along. You also have Libra, the beautiful-minded. And so you need more Taurus and Libra energy, which is interesting because the common denominator between these two energies is that they're both ruled by the planet of Venus, which deals with pleasure, relationships, love, money. It is kind of grounded here, but Libra here has to do with harmony, balance, justice here. And so with this energy here, I feel like there is definitely a movement towards working with people in the physical realm and trying to bring harmony, beauty as well. Okay, you could be dealing here, you know, there's definitely an aspect here, whether this has to do with a person or your own home, to sink into the aesthetic, to the femme fatale, and bring a little bit of elegance into your life. With two signs that are ruled by Venus here, there may be people that are going to come into your life to help you with this, but for many of you, you may be dealing with a love situation between a Taurus or a Libra, okay, for many of you. Now, the next energy that you need more of is the trine. And the trine is a certain aspect in astrology that represents flow, ease, harmony, and it's one of the most positive aspects in astrology. And the thing is about a trine, though, is that people with a lot of trines in their chart get pretty lazy. So with this trine, though, with Taurus, Libra, Venus, trine, easy, I feel like there's something in your life that's going to be easier than you're making it out to be. Right now, I feel like there's someone that you're dealing with in love for most of you that you could really be picking them apart. But what Spirit, it seems to me, wants you to do is really sink into the sensual pleasure, sink into the luxury of this person. You could have, for some of you, you could have someone around you who is like making you very aware of the easy side, the pleasurable side of life. And perhaps in January 2024, with the world in chaos, you need to focus on what you can control. The world may be in a mess and you're very tapped into the collective, but at the same time, you got to focus on what you can control, bringing elegance, beauty, harmony into your home. Perhaps as well, buying a new possession that somehow easily flows into your life. If there's an opportunity that just a synchronicity, that a new possession in your home, it may be very beneficial for you. So before we get into the meat, I don't want to say meat, the big part of this reading, let's start this reading off with your opportunity here, Taurus. Now, Taurus, Aquarius, sorry. The reason I said that is because there's a Taurus card that you need more of here. So the first energy, your opportunity, your biggest opportunity for January 2024 is the Three of Swords. And intuitively, Aquarius, the first thing coming through is that you're going to have to put your heart on the line because there's something worth it to do. There's someone here who's worth your time. Let me repeat that. You're dealing with someone, whether it's a prospect in love, whether whoever this is, we're going to clarify to get more information. You're dealing with someone who is worth your time. You're dealing with someone who's worth to risk being hurt. You're dealing with someone who your opportunity is to be vulnerable. And perhaps to be vulnerable up front and then be met with a surprising warmth. Because this whole energy of Taurus, Libra, trine, it's warm. You need ease, you need flow, luxury, groundedness. So there is something here that when it comes to a relationship that may be entering into your life, the first thing that's coming through for you is to be authentic as possible up front. Because I do feel like you're dealing with someone who can handle you. And it may be in a way that you're not used to. Someone could be, you do have Libra, so there may be a little bit of an intellectual thing here. But in the most part, I just get this sense of almost like a frequency of you're coming home from a long journey and someone greets you with a warm meal and in your favorite blanket. And it's funny that I wore this Gucci scarf today. Taurus, trine, Libra. But the frequency that I'm getting is you really could be overcomplicating things in terms of relationship and the potential pitfalls of, whoa, what if it doesn't work? What if they have a shadow? What if they don't accept my shadow? You must be vulnerable up front. And like I said, it's worth your time. Now, your challenge is the Queen of Wands. And there could also be a fated relationship coming in to help you with business, right? Because Libra and Taurus, very Venus, Venusian business. You could be doing something in business this month that feels so good, but you almost be, for some of you, the intuitive message that I'm getting is you're not used to things going so smoothly. And so you must look at your heartbreak. You must look at how your fear of being hurt or the past experiences that you've had in business or in love are holding you back from accepting something that may actually go smoother than you're thinking. And it's a new experience for most of you as well. Your challenge, though, is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands usually has to do with passion, authenticity, someone who doesn't care about what other people think about them. You see the black cat on this card, who it represents kind of like the mysterious woman who draws people in with her eccentricity. And as an Aquarius, you're very eccentric. You're out there. You're different. And so what I would be telling you with this challenge is don't be afraid of your weirdness. It could actually be quite refreshing. Although unknown, refreshing. The feeling that I get from this reading is that there's some sort of situation developing that if you take the risk to be vulnerable, I feel that it will be once again received. You're going to think that someone's going to throw a tomato at you. Instead, they're going to crush a tomato and make a beautiful soup and be like, you know what, that's a great story. I want to learn more. And for some of you, I'm also getting an intuitive message that someone may not fully understand you up front, your vulnerability. your fear of relationships because of the past. You may be dealing with someone who's going to be patient with you. And when we look at the energy of trine, easy, Taurus, patience, I do feel that you're dealing with someone here, whether this is a business thing or a love thing, who will be surprisingly patient with you. I do feel that energy. So instead of, like it's instead of throwing a tomato at you, they're going to crush a tomato and be like, tell me more. It might be a little bit weird to them, but they're someone who can have an understanding. So why the Queen of Wands is here, I'm not sure. There could be an apprehension on your part to really go for this for whatever reason. But I think you'll be very well received for some sort of reason. So let me show you why I'm telling you this, right? I feel like you're going to have a great month overall. Overall, you have the Four of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Lovers. Wow, that's a great 3-slot spread, isn't it? The Four of Wands has to do with stability. The number 4 is, soul family. There could be a destined soul family member entering into your life. So whether this is romantic or not, please be aware that the universe is sending you someone. You're going to be interacting with someone who may not be in your life forever, because the thing about the Four of Wands is it does represent a rite of passage. You have to go through something. There may be a new soul family member that is going to enter into your life that is destined, it is a big opportunity for you. For many of you, though, I do feel this is romantic as well. So overall, excellent. And so why the Three of Swords would be here in your opportunity is interesting. There may be a level of vulnerability that you have to share with someone. And we're going to clarify that in a moment. But when it comes to what you don't see coming, Aquarius, in what you don't see coming, you have the Two of Cups. So you have the Lovers in this reading. You also have the Two of Cups. You have the Moon, and you also have the Seven of Pentacles here. So with this energy and what you don't see coming, I do feel there's going to be a slight hiccup in this development, whatever's developing for you, because in your advice from Spirit, they're clearly telling you, please, Aquarius, you have to go for this, but you also have to let something go in order to make this work. And perhaps it's your guarded heart. Perhaps it's relationships are so hard. Relationships, you see, all of us have, and I'm literally channeling what I believe will be going through many of your heads. The childhood trauma is endless. No one is good. Every man is gross. Every woman's mean. Every whatever you are is weird. Are you sure? Or are you meeting a Taurus or a Libra type that's just going to be grounded and be like, oh, that's cool. Or just open, because I'm just saying that. Because there is a little bit of confusion and illusion and a little bit of darkness and uncertainty surrounding this connection and what you don't see coming. But what I do suggest and what I do find with this reading is that it will be well received after a little bit of a grace period of unknown. You might have to be vulnerable about something, or you might have to be willing to accept someone for the way they are and still realize that you still need to be in a relationship because of some sort of destined reason. No one's perfect. So on the one hand, I'm ripping you apart because I'm like saying, stop overthinking. On the other hand, for others of you with this Three of Swords in your opportunity, you may have to take on something about someone. They're not perfect, but no one's perfect. So whether it's you, roles can be reversed here, but I feel like there's some sort of unknown vulnerability that gets brought to the surface that is actually received well, for the most part. So, like I said, we're going to have to clarify that in a moment. When it comes to your advice, Spirit is clearly asking you to start something new. You have the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords is the sword of truth. It's a new mental insight, fresh mental insight. You have the Ace of Wands, which is all about passion, following your inspiration. It's this combination, the Ace of Swords combined with the Ace of Wands, is, I would call, insight from the heavens. Because the swords has to do with the air, the mental realm. The fire, the Ace of Wands, has to do with spirit, right? Spirit. And even sexual things. So I feel like there's just like this download that I need to do this. I need to start this new beginning. There's definitely a new beginning that you need to start with. It's interesting, though, that the Queen of Wands would be in your challenge, and then you have the Ace of Wands in your advice, and you also have the Eight of Cups in your advice as well. So there's clearly something that you need to let go of in order to make this new beginning happen. And I feel like for many of you, it's potentially being cut off from emotions, and potentially for a lot of you making relationships and whatever you have to do harder than it is. You see, I'm a practitioner of Christ consciousness. All of you can select an outcome in your mind. You can say, with my free will, I choose to have this career. Maybe you need to wait a little while for it to manifest, but you can say, I choose for relationships to be easy. I choose to have this career. You choose it, and it's there. You don't have to go through these millions of things. Do you understand that there are basketball players in the NBA who have physically no business being in the NBA, but they made a choice. They didn't let anyone, they didn't overcomplicate it. They just said, I want to play basketball. I'm going to unite my heart and my mind. And somehow they're on the court and they find a way to fit in. They find a way to flow. And people are like, how is that person an NBA basketball player? Well, they chose with their free will. And they didn't overcomplicate it. Not to say that there's not issues, but this is what I'm saying. The reason why I'm saying that to you is because you have this simple, right? Taurus, trine, easy flow, easy money. Easy money. And for some of you, this could be about money as well with the Two of Cups, the Moon, and there could be, for some of you, I do feel like there's someone coming in who could really help you make money easier, who could simplify money for you, or I feel like there's someone coming in, or there's an experience at the very least coming in for you who's going to simplify your money, who's going to simplify your relationships. And for some of you who have been stuck in your ways and have developed a certain belief system, you may be very uncomfortable with, the fact that you've spent all this time. It's almost like someone may invalidate you, not even trying to, but just by existing. And you're like, oh, there is another way to do this. Oh, relationships could be easier. Money could be easier. And for some of you out there, I hope you're still listening, you're going to be like, oh, but then that means I've been wrong my whole life. You know what I mean? Like I've been doing so many astrology readings. Like the reason I haven't been here, just 5 readings a day, so much readings. And the thing that I've been running into is just, especially with some of my like older clients, is just, it's really hard when I have to kind of break down their chart and be like, hey, this is, you don't have to do it like that. And then they're like, but I've been doing like that. I've been doing relationships. I've been doing money like this my whole life. And some kid is going to come here and tell me I can do it differently. And I'm like, yeah. So I don't know. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start clarifying this reading, the Moon, again. All right. So let's go ahead and start clarifying this. There also could be a sense of fear of what someone has to teach, or fear of what needs to become vulnerable, so I don't know. Let's go ahead. Let's clarify that 3 of Swords. Why is the 3 of Swords coming in here, Aquarius, in your opportunity? The first thing I got was vulnerability, but then I started getting other things about it. So let's see. Not letting the past heartbreak hold you back from this new love. Hold on. Well, first of all, Emperor, 7 of Swords, 3 of Cups. There is, for some of you, especially for some of you ladies out there, you gotta, dropping the belief that you may have had a lot of experiences of being used by people, or being, you always may have this belief that someone's gonna manipulate you. Okay, or like for some of you, I'm getting like you just have such a bad taste in your mouth from love that you may choose to not move forward with this person, even though they're very good for you based on your past experience. So that's something I wouldn't suggest. Learn from the past, but don't stay there. But hold on, let me keep clarifying this 3 of Swords and your opportunity. Why is it here for all of you? I feel like someone could be shattering your belief here and have to, it makes you walk away from a certain belief system, or at least let it, the 3 of Swords in your opportunity, first of all, it's clarified by the 8 of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords. You also have the Star and also the 9 of Wands here. So there's definitely something to do with healing. The Star is about a wish fulfillment, healing, regeneration, renewal. And the 9 of Wands has to do with unfinished business here. So for some of you, there may actually be someone from your past that you have an opportunity to heal a relationship with. For some of you, this may not be a new lover. For some of you, this could be someone from your past. But for most of you, you're dealing with old wounds that are bleeding into this new situation. And here's the funny part of this reading. Here's the funny part of it. For me, is what I'm getting. The 3 of Swords clarified by the 8 of Pentacles and the 9 of Swords. I feel like someone's going to freak you out because you may have been convinced that you're not ready for a relationship. You need to keep working on yourself, or relationships are so hard. it's a complicated puzzle that only Aquarius can figure out. And I'm not here to deny that. I mean, Aquarius can give relationship insights that I'm not aware of. I'm very aware of that. But what I'm saying to you in this reading for this month in particular, I feel like something's coming in here where it's tripping you out because you're like, what's the catch? Okay, someone knocks on your door and is like, hey, here is $100,000 because money's easy and I have so much that I just want to give it to you because I like your house. And you're like, what's the catch? There may be no catch. You may have just gotten lucky, but in luck, there is no such thing as luck, but there is a such thing as fated events and destiny. So make sure you don't overcomplicate this, please. Make sure you question whether there is an agenda here. Now, of course, don't be naive, Aquarius. Everything with a grain of salt. You know, these people that whoever you're dealing with in love, they may have an agenda, but I'm telling you, it's probably subconscious, if anything, because in what you don't see coming, you have the Two of Cups, relationship, soulmate, Moon, unconscious behavior, emotions, the instinctual part. So if someone is going to try to do something, I don't think it will be intentional, and I feel like this is going to be a much better relationship situation than you're used to. So, easy. And, you know, there could be someone here who you take for granted for some reason because you don't have to work for it or it's not a challenge enough for you. For some of you, there could be a mental block here where, well, if it's easy and it's just falling in place, well, that must just be low value. You know? It's like the idea of someone who's like, I'm doing live readings, $1 readings, $1 readings, and they're in like a live and like no one's watching. It's because it's like, it's too easy. It's like, you're going to give me a reading, I charge $1? Really? What are you going to really tell me? What are you going to tell me? See, and so maybe some of you are like, see, I'm going to get a reading from the Autistic Mystic because you have to pay a lot of money, but he's going to rip my whole life apart. And that's true. It is complicated to pay money, but in this case, it's the reverse. It's like, I would actually advise you to go with the $1 reading person and they might blow your mind. And reject me, who's telling you, hey, charge all this money. No. Go with the $1. Like, there's something about ease, simplicity that you may be overcomplicating is the whole theme of this damn reading. Queen of Wands in challenge. Ace of Pentacles, another Ace A, but there is no... The Queen of Wands in your challenge is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and also the 10 of Wands here for you in your challenge. So definitely the challenge has to do with a passionate new beginning. The Page of Wands is a very fun energy, it's a very youthful energy, and the Ace of Pentacles is definitely to do with a new beginning in the physical world that is surrounding your challenge, earth and fire energy. Now you do have the 10 of Wands as well in your challenge, and you know, I do feel like for some of you, there's this feeling of you feel like you're going to burden this person. You feel like either this person may become a burden for you, you're fearing that, or you're going to burden this person. For many of you, it has to do with your own authenticity, that you feel that, hey, you know, if I really tell this person what I'm into, or if I really am vulnerable with my needs, with how they have to relate to me, with whether this is business or love, you know, there's something that you got to be vulnerable about. And I feel like you just think it's going to be too much for this person, but I'm literally telling you, the whole energy of this reading is it might be for a split second, then they're like, that's weird, but you know what, like, let me put myself in your shoes and easily relate to you. Libra, Taurus, grounded. Oh, that's weird, but you know, I'm on Earth, so I can relate to it. I'm not there, but it's fine. I'll help ground you know. So I feel like there's something about, please do not be afraid to be vulnerable up front. But other than that, the Queen of Wands in your challenge, I mean, you could be overly excited because sometimes the 10 of Wands here has to do with too much passion. This person is holding too many wands here. So that's almost the feeling that I get, is there may be someone here who's coming in and who is so exciting here, but maybe there's some sort of mental block or some detachment. You know, you're not going to allow yourself to get that passionate because of past hurt, something to do with the Three of Swords, lack of vulnerability, not wanting to get hurt, or all the things that I've been mentioning. So let's just continue here. Yeah, let's clarify this Lovers in your overall general energy. Why is the Lovers card here? World. I feel like you're, yeah. The relationship coming in pretty fast for you, particularly by the end of the month in terms of actual speed. But the Lovers card is literally clarified by the Lovers, the World, and the Knight of Swords. So this is fast, upgraded, and this also has to do with the luxury thing. This is very Taurus, Libra. Worldly opulence, luxury. There could be really someone who's coming in, who's challenging your beliefs, coming in very quickly that you just know you have to take the opportunity. Hold on, before the camera resets, we're here, we're still here. And so I feel like, you know, the Lovers clarified by the Lovers. I feel like this is a two-way street. You know, you have something of value to teach this person. It is a predestined relationship of some sort. So what I would say to this, especially with the two aces in your advice, please don't overthink this. Please allow this person, whoever this is, of ease, harmony, and perhaps for many of you, even if you're dealing with the intellectual type, the energy of the Taurus, the sensual, Libra, beautiful-minded, harmony, balance, negotiation, and the Trine, support, inspiration, ease. Perhaps this is the energy that you, yourself, are going to be the one who has to bring this to the table in the relationship. If you're dealing, you know, because many of you are going to be, you're not going to be dealing with a Taurus and a Libra. For most of you, this is going to be a different type of person. And so perhaps this is the energy that you need to bring. This can be easy. This can be easy. And I just think this is fated, so it's not something you're going to, it's going to bring up a lot. But let's just get some advice here. Let's clarify why the Ace of Wands, actually, hold on, no. I also want to clarify this Wheel of Fortune. Why is the Wheel of Fortune here in your overall general energy for January 20? Well, you have the Four of Wands, which is the card of soul family. So I would bet you Four of Wands twice, Lovers twice in your overall general energy. Are you kidding me? And you also have the Hermit, the Nine of Pentacles, thinking deeply about money and independence and freedom, financial freedom and elegance. You know, the World, Nine of Pentacles, very similar. Page of Wands in your challenge. You have the Page of Cups coming up here, and now you have the Page of, the Three of Cups and the Page of Cups here as well. So I do feel like there's a lot of healing happening here. The Hermit has to do with deep reflection, but also healing, potentially to do with this challenge of the Three of Swords here. So once again, I sense a lot of good things going on for you here, especially in the terms of relationships and making it easier, making you realize that humans are, a state of isolation is not the natural state of the human. We are a tribal species. What is a human in the woods by themselves? How powerful are they? Not really. So, unless you're Bigfoot and you can phase in and out of dimensions, you're going to have to find a tribe here. You're going to have to go with people here, even if it's scary, even if you don't want to. I'm telling you, that's what you have to do. Even if it feels like, oh my God, this is a burden. Oh my God, I somehow have to combine my money with this person. Oh my God, I somehow have to deal with a little bit of immaturity because maybe they're not as smart as me and maybe they view relationships as so simple and there's got to be something wrong with them if there's that. If they can't do the shadow work the exact way that I do it, they can't understand me, they can't understand, then there's something wrong with their simple-minded Taurus brain. Or, healing is to experience the opposite. And there's someone here coming in to balance you out. And when we look at the Libra, we look at the scales of justice, I do feel like there's a certain element of what we like to call balanced forces. There is an element of excess potential that you've created by giving something excess importance in your life. The shadow work, the relationships. I'm never going to find anyone. I just can't. I can't. And then someone's going to lift you up. Oh. Swag. Someone's going to lift you up. And instead of throwing a tomato at you, they're going to put the tomato in the soup. They're going to give you a Gucci scarf. And they're going to say, let's get